So it's a huge honor for me to be part of the CN 30 Under 30. I'm really grateful to be selected as one of the winners in the class of 2020 because it was a recognition from the industry for my work, talent, and accomplishments as well. And I was joining the other 29 amazing industry peers to be part of something much bigger, which feels like it really connects us to a line of legacies.
Hi everyone and welcome to another CN conference call. I'm Louisa Daley, a CN reporter, and today I'm joined by Ryanne Law, who's the Sales and Marketing Executive at Pico EMA, and who is also a previous CN 30 Under 30 winner. Today we're going to chat about the awards, but more specifically, Ryanne is going to share some advice for future CN 30 Under 30 winners. Morning Ryanne, Happy New Year.
Hey, good morning, Happy New Year.
How are you? I hope you had a good break.
Yes, I did. It went really fast though. How was yours?
Yeah, same. I think everybody feels like that now, but it's good to get back and see what an exciting year we have ahead for the events industry. So
yeah, definitely.
So you were a part of our 2020 class, so congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
So what does being a CN 30 mean to you?
So it's a huge honor for me to be part of the CN 30 Under 30. I'm really grateful to be selected as one of the winners in the class of 2020 because it was a recognition from the industry for my work, talent, and accomplishments as well. And I was joining the other 29 amazing industry peers to be part of something much bigger, which feels like it really connects us to a line of legacies, and all of us event profs could come together for a sector that we are so passionate about. So yeah, it was really huge to me. I actually think when the announcement came out, I literally leaped out of my seat in joy. My sister could hear me squealing from the other room. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Well, I know this achievement is especially meaningful to you because you came from a kind of study working background. So could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I've actually just completed my dissertation not long before winning the award. I wasn't, I was sort of working alongside doing my master's then, and it's quite funny because before my master's, I wasn't doing anything related to the events industry at all, because my background was interior design. So yeah, it was about 1.5 years in the event sector when I got the award. So the meaning of this acknowledgement was even more magnified for me to be recognized as a fellow event professional that's able to achieve high standards despite not being originally from the industry itself.
I hope anyway, people watching this video who is maybe a student looking to enter the events industry is kind of encouraged, because it just shows anybody can be successful in the industry no matter what background you come from. And I know that I was a student myself and I definitely didn't expect to end up in the events industry, but it's so diverse, so many great opportunities. So it just shows that anybody can do it, really. So thinking back to 2020, which sounds like forever ago, what was your favorite part of the event, or would you say your highlight?
So for me, the highlight of the award ceremony was probably the hybrid approach. Of course, an in-person experience would have been preferable, as we learned from the pandemic itself. But unfortunately, I couldn't be there in person, no matter how badly I wanted to. So with the virtual presence, I was actually able to be on screen with the other fellow event professionals who couldn't make it as well. And it felt a bit like a moving yearbook, sort of like the moving portraits from Harry Potter. Like, you have a yearbook, everyone's moving, we got to wave to each other, and you're part of that whole big picture, that part of that gallery. And also my family from Malaysia, they were actually able to be part of that ceremony, which they wouldn't be able to without it being hybrid. And that means even more because they haven't been really part of they haven't been able to be part of my events industry career and journey since I've arrived at the UK to study. But at that moment, even though they were so far away with 8 hours time difference, they were able to participate in the ceremony. They were taking screen grabs, showing off to the relatives. I think that's really incredible for me. So, yeah.
Oh, lovely. Well, definitely, I think, as you said, it's definitely preferable to have an in-person approach for you, but I think there's definitely positives to hybrid, because like you said, your family could have joined, and it shows that hybrid has that reach that you wouldn't necessarily get the opportunity to have if it was in person, just in person. And even if it was when you was online in the little box, it just shows that you're still part of that community. So that's really, really good to hear. And then lastly, what advice do you have for other young event professionals who are starting out in the industry and they are looking for some top tips?
So I can think of three. The first one would be not to stop striving for perfection. I know that ultimate perfection is not attainable, but as long as we don't stop aiming for it, we get closer with each attempt and we learn something new and we become better. But that being said, my second advice would be just make sure not to kill yourself trying to reach perfection, because really things in events go wrong all the time and we really have to react and respond to it, especially since every event is different. And actually making snap decisions, seeking for solutions immediately is part of our jobs. So there's always room for improvement. So don't try to kill yourself reaching perfection. You have to make sure that you take care of yourself. My team's always telling me you have to eat and rest and sleep, which might be very hard to do, especially when the adrenaline is really pumping. But you have to make sure at least that you take care of yourself before you completely immerse yourself into the project. Because if anything happens to you, touch wood, then it could affect the delivery of the event as well. So it's important to make sure that you're in good shape to deliver the project. And the last advice I would say is actually an advice from someone quite dear to me. So I'm kind of stealing his his advice here. He's given me this advice relatively early as I joined the team, and until now it's something I really hold dear as my core belief, not just in day-to-day jobs and tasks, but also in life itself. So the advice is that there will always be a solution. It might not be perfect, it might cost, and there might be a compromise, but there will always be a solution. And I think that is really the core of what we do as event professionals. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And I think you touched on something really important there in regards to well-being, making sure to take care of yourself, because ultimately, if you take care of yourself and you're feeling, let's say 10 out of 10, the event is going to be 10 out of 10 because you're going to be your best self to execute it. And I think, especially in the pandemic, the ongoing pandemic, shall we say, mental health and well-being is such a big topic. And it's actually something that we're going to be discussing in the next issue of Conference News anyway. So great.
That's great.
Well, thank you for your time, Ryanne. It was so lovely seeing you again.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you to everyone who was watching. Stay tuned for more CN30 Under 30 interviews.